Hello guys, this is Recapz Now here. Today, I will explain the movie, Getting Fat in a Healthy Way. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. The movie begins as a fat man and his lean wife are outside with their child. The child is named Constantine. They went out for a dry picnic. While they are swinging Constantine on their hands happily, the wife notices a towel flying to the sky. Suddenly, the gravity stops working. Everything starts floating except for the fat man, and moves towards the sky. The wife and the boy also start floating upwards. The fat man grabs his son, and the son's hand is chained with his mum in the air. However, the mother puts on a sad face and leaves her son's hand in the air. Devastated, the fat man looks on in disbelief, as the wife flies away in the sky. As he pulls his son and gives him a tight hug, he wakes up from his dream with a heavy breath. This is a true incident that Constantine's father faced 20 years ago, after the Earth's gravity and moon shape were affected by a devastating American aircraft accident. As a result of the accident, the world faced great suffering, where anything weighing less than 120 kilograms flies off to space. Next, we get a view of the disturbing shape of the moon above a set of apartments. We see Constantine and his father are eating in the kitchen. The table is joined to the wall through a bracket, and a gravity meter is working inside the house, making sure everything was under control. The bookshelf is also seen caged by a fence. A man on TV talks about the day being the 20th anniversary of the unfortunate space mission of the Space Shuttle New Land. He says the anniversary falls on the full moon, and alerts us about the high possibility of damage to the naked eye. We see the anchor request the viewers to maintain a minute's silence, remembering those who lost their lives in the tragedy. A huge sound is heard in the room that surprises the father and son. Shortly, the plates and the food started flying. Constantine struggles to hold his hand on the table, while his body floats in the air. Despite trying his best, he loses his grip and rises to the ceiling instantly. Constantine's father curses the fuses and goes to check the gravity machine. He rotates a knob and alerts Constantine that he is going to turn on the device. Constantine closes his eyes and prepares for the fall. The device starts. The father covers his head with his hands as the pieces of things that are flown to the ceiling start to fall. Constantine cries in pain as he falls to the ground. The father hangs a photo of his wife on the wall. He asks Constantine if he was okay, while Constantine checks his painful body. Afterward, Constantine's father checks his weight. He finds that it was just about greater than 120 kg. Constantine's father worries that if his weight falls to less than 120, then he would be helpless, just like his son. Then he carries spherical balls marking 20 kg in his bag. He informs Constantine that the coffee is on the table as he flies to work. Constantine is confined behind the four walls for his weight. He takes a binocular and watches the street from the window to the street. He finds a man in a military window, holding a floating bag with his hands. He then sees his father talking to two fat ladies, who are walking their dogs on floating leashes. At another apartment, he watches a woman throwing a musical instrument at a man, but it floats back to her again. One of the women on the street starts talking about how Constantine's father tortured him. She suggests that he can get out by using a rope tied to him. As the woman talks, their floating dog barks louder. Tired of being stuck at home, Constantine, and jealous of the fact he cannot get out, Constantine tries his level best to live his best life. He plays the cassettes of the sea with the sound of waves in it. He then opens an umbrella and covers the sofa with it. He focuses the light on one of the sofas. He then undresses, precisely getting rid of the pillows and the layers of clothes from his body that he used as protection against gravitational fluctuation. He then wears sunglasses and applies lotion and starts taking a sunbath. Later, Constantine goes to the window after hearing the horn of a vehicle. A cute and healthy lady comes out of the vehicle and looks up. Constantine uses the binocular to observe her. She then unties her hair, which is seen flying, and she waves at him. Constantine feels shy due to this, as he never had any interactions with a woman after he was born. He puts on his clothes along with his protective pillow and writes hello on chart paper. He then stands up to show it to her, but backs out at the last second. After his father returns from work, He serves his father food that Constantine cooked. His father saw him wearing an apron and tells him it was for women. Constantine replies it is unisexual. His father suggests it belonged to Constantine's mother, and he should keep it in its place. Constantine obliges and then comes back to his table. The father then checks his weight again using the weighing machine before going outside. He sighs in frustration as it was very near to 120 kg. Constantine looks through the door to ensure his father has gone. After a while, Constantine sees an article in the magazine titled "Getting Fat in a Healthy Way." He sees the picture of a burger that states along with it that with good food, one can easily gain up to 120 kg. After seeing this ad, he orders a great number of burgers and starts consuming them. After eating, he checks his weight and finds that he weighed more than 60 kg and feels happy. Meanwhile, he hears the horn of the car and quickly writes his name on the chart paper. As his dream girl walks out of the car and waves, he points the chart towards her. After this magic moment, he restarts eating the burgers and does not give up even though he finds it difficult to swallow. He forces the burgers into his stomach and soon he feels uncomfortable. His father gets a call stating that Constantine suffered food poisoning. When he arrives, he sees Constantine sick and in his bed as the medics leave. Later, Constantine finds a note at the kitchen, written by his dad and which was over the fridge, which says not to forget his promise while his dad is at work. Constantine checks his weight and is angry when the reading reads 50 kg. Frustrated by his life, Constantine tries his best to get out. He binds himself to the fridge and pushes it hard to make it to the door. As he was about to leave, his father gets back from work. He pushes the fridge back to the room with Constantine still over it. Father then transfers all the machines and heavy equipments from the room for safety. Constantine is annoyed as he failed to express his feelings to the girl he liked. The father comes to his room to find everything is torn and scattered. He then works on a shoe and falls asleep. He has a dream of his son leaving his grasp and flying upwards. His eyes open with shock on seeing this. When he awakes, he finds everything including his wife's picture was scattered due to the fault in the gravity device. However, he notices that the shoes did not fly up. He throws them from a height and notices them falling downward. The father turns on the gravity machine, and everything stuck to the ceiling falls down, hitting his head. When Constantine comes to the kitchen the next day, the father brings the pair of shoes and puts them on the table. Constantine comments that they are ladies' shoes. The father replies that the shoes are unisexual. Constantine slowly puts on the shoes and carries a bag of metallic weights while his father looks on proudly. He then turns the gravity machine off. But this time, Constantine doesn't float, which makes both of them happy. Constantine then moves to the ground outside the apartment with the shoes and bags on. His father watches him from the window. He heads towards the apartment ahead. The girl from the van is watching him from the balcony of her room. He reaches below her apartment and looks at her up. All of a sudden, he shuts off the power of the shoes, despite his father screaming not to do so. Constantine then throws his bag away and takes out the pillow from his body too. He closes his eyes and keeps on rising upward. However, he feels someone's hand grasping his shoulder and not letting him go any higher. Constantine smiles as he sees the girl he loves in front of her smiling back at him. After watching the events unfold, Constantine's father winks at the photo of his wife. At the end of the movie, the radio floats up in the sky. The man on the radio welcomes their surprise guest, an American astronaut Dusan Pratik, and asks him to say a few words. Who was also a part of the fatal accident, starts with an apology. He then announces that the world will probably never recover from the dystopia they put into. Thus, the movie ends. Thank you for watching.